ask your questions. From now until the end of today's stream, you will have the option to purchase personalized autographs and one-on-one chats with your favorite celebrities at GalaxyCon.com. GalaxyCon is the copyright holder of this video content. The unauthorized reproduction or distribution of this copyrighted work is strictly prohibited.
Happy holidays, friends and fans, and welcome to another edition of GalaxyCon Live, where we are bringing the convention experience directly to you. And today we are going back to Storybrooke, Maine with several members of the cast of Once Upon a Time. And now is the time for all of you in our chat room to begin typing in your questions for them. Immediately after this session, you will have the opportunity to talk to them directly through our private chat options, as well as shop our selection of personalized autographs, all of which are available now at GalaxyCon.com. So without further ado, let's wish upon a star and bring them out. Our first guest is an actor whose body of work includes American Gods, appearances across several Star Trek series, and of course, the Pirates of the Caribbean film series. Today, he joins us to discuss the role of Dreamy, aka Grumpy, aka Leroy. Please welcome Lee Arenberg.
What's up, Patty? Hey, friends. Great to be here.
Good to have you here, boss.
Terrible news. Lee's here.
Yeah. Lee, how you doing, man?
Great, brother. Just, trying to bring my awesome today. Really grateful for everyone that's in attendance and, taking it one day at a time, brother, like always.
Absolutely. So glad to finally have you here. And I've just been a huge fan of yours. You've traced your career across a lot of things very dear to my heart. Star Trek, multiple appearances on Arliss, and
nice one.
And I am and remain an eternal fan of Tapeheads and Freaked, both of which you were in.
Cool.
So, bro,
Tapeheads was like my first movie, dude.
Yes.
Well, there you go. We go all the way back. Thank you, Patty.
Absolutely. No, man. No, thank you, bro. Thank you for a tremendous body of work that I've enjoyed across the board. And thank you for joining us here today.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Looking forward to it. I miss my Storybrooke family and all the oncers, so great to be able to check in.
Then let's bring him out. And our next guest, she is an actress whose credits include Iron Man 3, The Devil Wears Prada, and Lost. Today, she joins us to discuss the role of Kelly West, a.k.a. Zelina, a.k.a. the Wicked Witch of the West. Please welcome back Rebecca Mader.
Oh, hi, guys. Hello. Oh, my God, what a surprise. I wasn't prepared at all.
Oh, no. Your lovely Christmas PJs.
Woohoo.
Rebecca, how are you?
I'm good. I'm trying to get into the Christmas spirit, and what a way to do it, seeing your beautiful face, Patty, and you, Lee. It's wonderful to do a little Christmas con right before Christmas, and I'm excited. And also, I'm a new mum. Well, not new, but I'm exhausted, quite frankly, and delirious. So doing this with you lot, do you know what that means? I'm not wiping any bottoms currently. So this is sort of like a spa day for me. Thank you for having me, because I really needed a break. Okay,
we are so glad to give you that break. Oh, Rebecca, it's so great to have you back. Oh, just sip or relax and just take it easy, and I'll bring out our next guest, because he is an actor whose credits include The 100, The Magicians, and Action Royale. Today, he joins us to discuss the role of Robin of Locksley, a.k.a. Robin Hood. Please welcome back Sean Maguire.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you. How lovely to see everybody's faces.
Sean, how you been, boss?
I'm very good, thank you. Very good. How you doing, Patty?
I am well in my corner of the world. It's unseasonably warm, even by Florida standards, but yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Oh, is he frozen up? Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Well, I don't know what just happened there.
Okay.
You said you were doing well, and then everybody disappeared. And I thought,
for a second there, I thought you were taking umbrage with the temperature in Florida and how warm it was.
No, I
It's making me sweat. Oh God!
All right, is. He'll be back. He'll be back. He'll be back. All right. While we're waiting on that, let's bring on our next. Oh no! All right, he'll be back. These things happen. No big deal. And finally, she is an actress whose body of work includes Spin City 24 and right now, Why Women Kill. Today, she joins us to discuss the role of Regina Mills, aka the Evil Queen. Please welcome back Lana Parrilla. Please welcome Lana Maria's pillows.
Oh, hey. Sorry I'm late, guys.
Oh, you came back and then Sean came back.
With 4 other people? Okay.
Nice.
It's not the LP show.
Lana, how are you?
I'm great. How is everyone?
Amazing.
Oh, very good, very good. It was so great to see you. I had such a blast hosting you in Raleigh several months ago. That was a great time. So glad to have you back on our virtual stage. Glad to have all of you here on the GalaxyCon virtual stage. Our team is going through our chat room right now, pulling out the questions for us. In the meantime, just to get us started, I'm going to throw this out for each of you. What would you consider to be the craziest day you each had on the set of Once Upon a Time?
Oh my God. How do you choose that?
There were a few.
Crazy. Yeah. Probably one of the craziest days was, at least for me, is when every other production was shut down in the entire city and it was -7 degrees and we were still working. And everyone was frozen. Ooh. And anytime you tried to speak, your whole face would freeze, your lips would freeze. And it was cold, it was snowing. It was a crazy day, and mostly crazy weather.
I enjoyed drinking in trailers when I was done with my dialogue. I liked it when Colin and Andrew had whiskey in their trailer because, you know, when it's cold, that warmed me up. So once I'd finished my coverage, I accidentally used to stumble into Colin's dressing room and accidentally drink whiskey, which was really, really professional, quite frankly.
Accidentally bringing it back to my room.
And then eat all your chocolate.
I mean, I think a lot of that, I think I agree too. I think some of the craziest days that we can really talk about safely are the weather. When we shot the pilot and all the dwarfs are out in the, we were at Golden Ears Park, this really cool park, I think that got flooded recently, but it was snowing on the pilot. And I'm in like designer shoes. We're not wearing like any, we didn't have those hot stuff, those stickum things. Like, and it was like, holy shit, man, we're in for something. Like, you didn't realize that Vancouver, man, the weather can really like, after that, bundle up, drink the whiskey, whatever you do to survive, right?
That was actually really magical. I remember because it was a pilot episode. I wasn't in that scene, so I wasn't there that day. But I remember watching it going, is that real snow? And then everyone talking about like, magic happens when we film. It's incredible. This place is so incredible. And it was like, yeah, actually.
It was like we came from like LA though, and we're not used to like it raining even, right? And we're going to Vancouver. So it was like by 7 years in, everyone's used to it, right? Like we understand the beauty of that forest and impact on the city and stuff. But on the pilot, it took us all by like, holy man.
I believe it.
I remember seeing that pilot going, oh my God. Because I remember doing the VO for it, all the ADR work, and that wasn't color corrected, and the special effects hadn't been like put in yet, and I was like, "Oh my God, what have I signed up for? This is terrible." Nothing was done yet, and then I saw the final product, and it was like, "Oh, yes, I'm on something really good and special." I'm so happy. Oh my God. It's just so cool to be able to be, to be a part of something that, playing characters that are so iconic. And all of us have iconic roles here, which is cool. Yeah. And so many other people have played our roles throughout history, but I feel like we can really own them because we've played them the longest.
Yeah. True.
We put the time in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you.
Same with you. Is the Wicked Witch. Grumpy.
No one did it as long as me. Never thought about it like that before. Good one. I like that.
That's true. Sean, what was your craziest day?
There was lots. It was one of those jobs that you crazy was not out of the norm, especially just the length of days that would catch you by surprise, sometimes. And you would think you might be coming in for 2-3 hours, and then it's midnight and they're still like, yeah, we're not going to get to you for an hour. But the day, I think my wife gave birth to our child at like 4 a.m. and then I was at the hospital till 6:30 and then left the hospital and drove straight to set, having not been to bed and having just witnessed a baby come out of my wife. So I was a little bit dazed and confused when I got to work, and I filmed for a couple of hours before Ginny sort of said to the producers, send him home. He doesn't have to talk. You can get a double. And so she was very sweet. And she was sort of number one on the call sheet. Ginny was sort of often the leader a little bit in terms of looking out for everybody and stuff. And she's just the sweet. She genuinely is like a Snow White in real life. She's that sweet and that caring. And so she told the producers to send me home, and they took pity on me. So I went straight back to the hospital. So that was a kind of a crazy day, standing on set with, the evil queen and Prince Charming and Snow White. And I was just like, I'm sort of having hallucinations. Do you know what I mean?
I'm a dad.
Yeah. In retrospect, I shouldn't have taken all the gas and air at the hospital, because I was seeing everybody came to life in their real Disney sort of animation. I was like, we should send him home. He's not making a lot of sense at the moment. So I went straight back to the hospital and got right back on that gas and air.
Respect.
There you go. All righty. Well, panelists, thank you for indulging my capricious curiosity. We're good to go on audience questions. So let's go ahead and roll our first one, which comes from Rebecca, who wants to know, who is your favorite villain? And
hang on, Bex, you can't ask questions. The fans are supposed to ask the questions and then we answer. It'd be more, I think it's a better use of our time if you let them ask, because we can discuss this after we've done. Sorry, carry on.
This does not have to be limited to Once Upon a Time. This could be, who is your favorite villain across any form of story?
Bex, I'm right here.
If I didn't say the evil queen, Lana would probably jump in her car and drive round to my house and smack me in the face. So I'm going to say the evil queen.
That's a good answer.
It just came to me. It's weird.
Yeah, it felt very intuitive.
It felt organic. It felt natural.
But which evil queen? The one who's played her the longest?
No, I think not only did you play it the longest, but how many people in real life can say that they've met a villain and then that person became their sister in real life? So you're my favorite.
You're the only, yeah.
Shit.
I'm just thinking of past governments.
Definitely the evil queen, because I got Lana out of it. Respect.
But I mean, Lana, your evil queen was like the ultimate villainess, like truly like one of the great screen villains ever. And then you get your redemption, and we all get a good cry out of it, which is even better,
Yeah. You know what's funny? Over the years of playing someone for so long, and you're constantly looking for inspiration, you're like, okay, what haven't I done before? And I would Google search like best villains of all time, and then I'd see me there, and I was like, I should just trust that I know this shit.
Especially like that your early like discovery of that character. Like, for real, when you were like the mayor, that mayor was one of the evil. That character was so fucking evil, And
I got a little method, though, in the first couple of years.
Yeah, but it's cool, though, because it's like, that's what it's all about. Like, we're in the forever business. Like, I'll never, like, Darth Vader for me, like, the ultimate villain character, right? Like, you just, but not so much now at my age, but like, especially when I was first watching those movies. Like, that guy was a bad guy, And so, like, capturing the lightning in a bottle, In our show, all those Dark Snow was a great villain character. Anytime our good hero characters went dark, that was fun. But like talking about Ginny being all Snow White, when Dark Snow was
Dark Snow.
Dark Snow's a badass villain, you know?
With that haircut.
Oh.
I loved it. It was so 80s.
So
She was like Cat Benatar as the evil queen.
I would go villain. I think Hannibal Lecter for me is one of those villains that are obviously, apart from all the aforementioned villains, that's obviously a given. But I think, you know, if you think back to the first time everybody saw the imagery of Anthony Hopkins on that gurney with the face mask on, you're like, okay, this is a new iconic kind of, and also, you know, his performance, him chained up like a dangerous animal, and then his being so softly spoken and so articulate and so intelligent, it's such a whole new level of creepy. It's so much more interesting when a villain is
created that whole
and measured, like Lana, or you know, when you've got that, when you can be evil calmly, it's much more eerie, I think. So I concur with everything else that my castmate said.
I mean, that's such a good thing, Sean, like in terms of like portraying like the evil character. They don't never think they're evil.
Nope, don't judge the character.
Yeah.
You know, let the audience do that.
Yeah,
but that was Silence of the Lambs was scary, dude.
And it's just a great character. Well, also, when people are much more menacing when they're slow and quiet and soft, when they're loud and aggressive, you feel like you're seeing their full blast. But what's more concerning is when you can't see what's hiding underneath, like an iceberg. You know, that's when I think a villain gets into the psyche a little bit.
Very much so. So, Lana, do you have a favorite?
Well, I don't say the witch.
This is just the Mutual Appreciation Society at this point.
I guess I would say my favorite villain to work with for sure is Rebecca Mader. And then Rebecca Mader is my favorite villain.
That Robert Carlyle character's played a couple of good villains as well. I think we have to mention Bobby, because Bobby sort of, he owns a little bit of villainous. He's played so many, from Big B to James Bond villain to, you know,
he plays a good
Rumple. He's and yet the nicest man. You know, it shows what a great actor he is, because he's a lovely guy.
with Sean on you know, Hannibal Lecter being one of my faves. Even like Glenn Close.
Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
Again, because so softly, and she's just a woman in love. So we empathize with her until she goes, you know, bunny boiler.
Well, I find like the subtleties with villains, it's like it's tone. It's a particular tone, and it has to fit whatever it is. You know, like Once Upon a Time, I think there were moments when all of us as villains had those quiet, more sinister deliveries when the time was appropriate. But then there were other times when you had to really be big and over the top. I mean, it just kind of.
But that's when we all steal from. I bet both of you would have, you know, stolen like a bit of that Glenn Close, you know, about that intimacy, and, you know, as the villain, rather than playing the villain, you're playing somebody who's been hurt and you want retribution. So you're playing it from the point of view of you're justified and therefore sincere in your intention. That's what makes a villain more scary, because you're like, they believe this. Do you know what I mean? If you're just like, I'm just the baddie, I'm just the villain, there's no fun in that. But a person wronged with a vendetta, that can be, you know.
Very much so.
Well, I think also early on in the first season, it wasn't as sort of like caricature or over the top with performances, because it was tonally just very different. And as the show sort of moved forward, like, and magic started coming into it in a different way, then things started shifting, and I think like the tone started shifting a little bit. But there's that quiet subtlety is really beautiful, and there's a lot of
no villain thinks they're a villain. That's part, don't they?
Like,
they're villains. They're like, I'm amazing.
Yeah, they're justified.
Justified in what they're doing. Yeah, I'm doing this because you
they're always
did.
wounded. Always wounded, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even in a slasher movie, it's all the genre, right? We're just telling stories. And if there's not a big obstacle to the heroes, or if, like, say, in Lana's case with the Evil Queen, like that transition character arc from the darkness to the light. I mean, that's what makes up any of these scenes. Like, something has to happen. Like the great Shakespearean villains, the great villains of old, the moms that killed their kids in the Greek tragedies. I mean, there's some heavy stories that are like out there. So,
yeah,
I mean, that's one great thing too about Once, is that we were tying into like storytelling at its finest by combining all these characters.
Yeah.
Well, like even Lady Macbeth.
Ah,
you know, like
seen that yet? The new version?
I haven't seen the new version, but I just remember going back to the text when I was creating the Evil Queen with Adam and Eddie for my own inspiration, because I kept pulling from everywhere. I mean, even Gary Oldman I pulled from The Professional. You know, like you just find villains, and it doesn't matter what gender they are. It's an essence that you're trying to capture, and a tone, and like I was inspired by so many different villains throughout, the entire 7 years of being on that show. I was constantly seeking and looking.
You nailed it though, That's one great thing too, because remember, like you and me hanging on the pilot, right?
Yeah.
And like this, I like to say this is a lightning in a bottle business. Like those moments when you just nail your thing, as it's what we're looking for in the movie. It's how it's different than like theater, because theater's that live relationship. But in front of just the camera, if you can capture that shit in the bottle and then keep bringing it. Like you brought it for 7 years. People like, that's the challenge of TV, right? Whereas the film, you only get that one scene to bring. You got to bring it. Tony Hopkins. He said, I learned so much from Tony Hopkins before I did Pirates, right? Like, because he said there was this little article in a newspaper about how he was teaching acting class at a laundromat in Santa Monica. It was right by this coffee place. He liked his coffee. And then there was a dance studio. It was like the perfect bunch of young people that he was, hanging out, having his coffee. And one acting note he said is he would do his lines 200 times aloud in his hotel room before he ever went to set. Yeah. And so when then I watched back on Silence, and I see that Hannibal Lecter, Chianti, and Fava Bean. He's so into it because he's played with it 200 times. He's not freaking himself out about how he sounds as the character. I mean, it's that exploration and process that allows, a great actor to like really nail it.
And I will say, you guys, you all nailed it across the board. You really did. And your castmates, and again, the creatives, you're right. The show was definitely lightning in a bottle. And on behalf of myself and the audience, I'll say this now. I thank you all for your talents. I thank you for the professionalism, and I thank you for the performances you all brought to this show. Really.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And I thank Rebecca for the question. And for myself, I'll throw out my 3 favorite villains. Iago from Othello, the child catcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And people look at me weird about this because I've never seen it, but they always come back to me and say, you're right. Paul Williams from Phantom of the Paradise.
Ooh.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Oh, it's
Phantom of the Paradise.
Oh, dude, he's like a monkey face.
There's a phantom in paradise. This is oxymoronic.
I remember that one. I remember it.
It's the best. It's the best knockoff of the 70s, the music scene, and how it was leaving the 60s and couldn't quite figure out where it was going. And it's a doozy. It's up there with Rocky Horror in that sort of weirdness. And let's do another question. Where this one comes from, Samantha. What show, past or present, would you love to guest star on? Oh wow,
Succession.
Yeah.
I love Succession. I can't get enough of it. I'd like to be one of the horrible family members.
Yeah, I would say for me, Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Maybe
I would have liked to have been
Breaking
in Sopranos too.
Oh
Sopranos.
God, yeah.
Which one?
Sopranos.
That
Yeah,
would be
you wicked on that.
that would have been the top choice. Yeah.
Lana?
God. What's going on? Can you hear that? Is that static?
I heard a little bit of
not
static.
sure.
I'm not sure. I was like, I'm all three's company.
Hey, why not?
There were so many misunderstandings in that show.
Hey, you know, to get to work with John Ritter.
Cheers would be fun. I'd like to do some, like, you know, I loved that show growing up.
Cheers is great.
I were alive.
Warm.
You know, old stuff. It would have been cool. Taxi. You know, the stuff I grew up watching. That would have been fun to be a part of if I were alive then. But probably the most recent would be maybe Breaking Bad, maybe what is it? The Morning Show would be interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of us can relate to that.
I'd like to be on Money Heist.
First Candace,
Right
Money Heist is good.
Yeah, there's so many really great.
Or Narcos Mexico.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun to shoot somewhere, you know. Like, I love that show, The Narcos. It's a good one.
Narcos.
Yeah.
You would be great on The Crown.
Why am I not Fergie? Hello, I've got the ginger. Hello.
That's
great on The Crown.
That's a very good question.
I know. It's like, I don't get it.
Saturday and find out why that's
call your agent.
I'd say it's because you're too hot. I think you're too hot.
Okay,
too hot for Fergie.
The Crown is very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Oh, yes. And I'd like to be the voice of Kit in Knight Rider. If we're going to go back and do Knight Rider again. I'd be like, slow down, Michael. Michael, why is your hair so big?
I can see it now. It was a 2-hour special TV movie in the summertime, and they have to go to the UK. So
exactly.
Kit has to churn himself, so he drives on the opposite side of the road.
On the other side of the road. And they're like, we wanted to upgrade it, and Kit now has an English accent, so he sounds smarter. But he still has the camp, sort of sarcastic nature, where he's like, Michael, I really don't think that's a good idea. I think you're kind of stupid, Michael. Why don't you just get out?
Left.
Said left, you idiot.
Left on the wrong side of the road.
The other left.
Yes, the other left.
It's called a roundabout, Michael.
No, not turbo boost, you idiot. Yes, I think we could do something with it. I think it's a good idea. It's a good pitch.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's so. Samantha, great one. I always wanted to be an episode of MASH myself. But
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
MASH was good.
What do we have next?
I Love Lucy.
I'm going to rephrase this question. Have you found yourselves in possession of anything from the set of Once Upon a Time?
The word you're looking for, Patty, is steal/thievery.
I have to protect you. That's my job.
I was cheeky. I stole one of the cameras. Stole one of the cameras and a tripod.
Home with me.
I mean, they came to my trailer pretty quickly because I mean it's like a $70,000 camera, and they just came straight to my trailer, and I was still holding it, so I gave it back. But no, that was it. No, I think everyone always thinks that we all steal.
I took my cozy coat.
Oh, that's good. Those coats are nice.
Amongst other things,
Chair
I stole my broomstick, which I'm so proud. Like I feel proud, you know. It's like they weren't just going to give me my broomsticks. It's like if you don't ask, you don't get. That's what my grandmother always used to say. So
and she was a kleptomaniac.
Well, yeah, and my dad. So it runs the family. Yeah. And I said to the prop guy, "How many have we got of these?" He said, "We've got 4." I said, "Well, that's ridiculous. They don't need 4. Show's over."
Yes,
so
exactly.
At the end of the day, I drove around the back of the prop room. I opened my boot. He shoved it in. It came past my face, and I drove home with a broomstick right here, chuckling to myself the whole way home.
That would have been a good time to be pulled by Vancouver police.
Yes. Woo!
Where are you going, man?
Sorry, why are you speeding? Sorry, sorry, officer.
Sweeping the
my
sidewalk.
weren't working. Yeah. Really pleased with myself that I nicked that.
Nice. Nice. Lee, did you snag anything? I mean, did you find yourself in possession of
I
anything?
didn't. I mean, I was trying to think like why I didn't steal more on that. I would have taken. I like Leroy's costume, but they lost the hat. I would have probably just taken Leroy's hat. Would have been the one thing I'd want from that. But like
your ears.
Oh God, I hated those ears.
I know you hated those.
Yeah, I used to. That's why I pulled the toque down like this, so you didn't see them. They were on, but I didn't have to have because it would take like 2 hours to make them look where the camera could. Those HD cameras.
Yeah.
That's the thing about prosthetic work now with the HD camera, the improvement of the technology. It's boned a lot of actors and a lot of makeup artists because you're always facing. The camera sees so much more than when I did the Star Trek.
It's like throw a filter on it. Or
so they could get the nose perfect, but that was enough to chase. Yeah, I mean, I've got pirate sword. I got a couple pieces of Aztec treasure. Like I got some Ferengi teeth. Nice. But even my whole career, I'm also like, yeah, I'd never really steal it. I'd always want to come back and they'd look for it. They'd ask about it. I wouldn't have it.
Yeah, everybody plays a Ferengi gets to keep their teeth because it only works for them. So
that's right.
Yeah, Armin still got his, and
I got my pirate teeth. The weird thing is, I found them, going through some stuff, and I found my pirate teeth, and there was still like mouthwash in the cup to stay. I was like, they still fit. It's like crazy.
Nice. So, Lana, have you found yourself in possession of anything?
I didn't take anything. Nothing.
Yeah.
I probably took at least 3/4 of my wardrobe. And heart boxes and things like that were really useful in life. And what else did I take?
Basically anything that wasn't nailed
down. Ronnie's wardrobe, because it was more modern and jeans and stuff that I would normally wear. Yeah, I took a lot of stuff.
That's all good.
Yeah, if you asked me this question the first 2 years after rap, I would have said, like 1 or 2 things. Now I'm like, yeah.
Statute of limitations. You're home free now.
Yeah.
Everything's been auctioned off or sold. I think I'm it's okay to say it took a lot.
There you go. Well, it's funny because Sean mentioned Knight Rider earlier. We had actor William Daniels on here a few months ago for an event, and he told us the best story I've ever heard. At the end of each season of Boy Meets World, he would take in any old clothes that he had on the last day, and he would switch them out in the wardrobe, and he would take home all the new stuff that they had for him at the end of every season.
Genius.
So the wardrobe department, when they would go away and they hire a new wardrobe person, why they have him wear these old crap? Let's size him up and get him over.
I've got a new wardrobe, Michael. I've got a walk-in closet, Michael.
Oh, there you go. Jason, great question. Thank you so much. And a reminder to our audience, if you would like to chat with our guests like I am now, or purchase a personalized autograph, please sign up at galaxycon.com and let's roll another one. And this comes from Kelly. If you were all in a band together, what would the band's name be?
The Dickheads.
You say the Dickheads?
Yes. and really give appropriation for how little time she took to come up with that. Bullets have left guns slower than Rebecca answered that question. The Dickheads.
Roll off the tongue. It's funny because it's true.
Oh gosh, it's going to be tough to beat that. The Dickheads, and our fans are just called heads.
Some are called dicks and some are called heads.
Some are dicks. So, I'm a real fan, man. I'm a dick, and you're like, no, you're just a head. We have a fine body of work.
I used to like the Dickheads till they sold out.
Yeah, they changed. They went all commercial. They're all balls now, and sorry.
After the third album, man, they lost
it. We may be going down the wrong path here for the children.
Anytime we're going, follow the back.
Very low.
Sorry,
right.
parents. Apologies to the parents who are like, well, I never tuned in for this kind of malarkey. Good, wholesome show talking about this, that, and the other.
Just wait till the kids are teenagers.
Sorry, guys.
True. There you have it, Kelly. Good one. What's next? From Ariel. What was your favorite story arc on the series?
Wicked is coming.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway, analysis. Back to me.
I would say season 3 was one of my favorite ones because season 3 it was Neverland and Wicked is Coming. And what was cool about that is that in the 3rd season, the formula of our storytelling changed a bit. And it was like, okay, so for part of the season, we're going to be in Neverland and the other part, we're going to be in Oz. And I really thought that was fun. And it was great to even bring those 2 villains, Robbie and Bex, in on that level, because the prior it was mainly Bobby and I. So it was a season of villains, and it was fun. I all of season 3 is one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Nice.
I agree.
I like that answer.
I need a sign that says "Be back in 5."
Where are you going? Don't leave me.
I think I need another Advil or something.
Lee, you got a favorite story arc comes to mind?
Well, I mean, for me, like my favorite arc of the characters is like this change from the very end of the 1st season. And the only reason I say that is because, like, I too agree that, like, once we started getting in where we started changing up and bringing in all these great, say, guest characters that became like the future of the show. The first best part of the show for me was like when Josh was messed up and like and Ginny, like when they were having the affair, and then they finally figure out that they're these characters. When that drops, that was for me one of the coolest changes of the show. Because the storybook, the difference between the fairy tale world and the storybook world came at the very end of the 1st when we discover with these magical characters. So like for me, that was the first like real gotcha, like flip of the script.
Yeah,
like when the curse was lifted, I was like, wait, how are we going to sustain?
Yep.
What do you mean? Now
and the way we sustained is introducing Neverland and introducing Oz and introducing the Frozen world, right?
Yeah, when
it was real strategic. Like I've been watching chess a lot. They actually had televised the World Championship of Chess, right? And I was like, that's weird. I'm gonna check it out because I want to get into the mind of these guys because chess is an interesting game, right? And a lot of it's like scripted. They memorize these opening moves. And as long as the other opponent kind of moves according to the script, the moves happen kind of rapidly, exchanging of pawns and these things, right? When someone goes off script, these dudes flip. They start going like this, taking time, walking away, like showing all these emotions. It's crazy, right? That's kind of like what happens in this world when these characters find out, when their script flips and they go, holy shit, all these bad feelings I've had about myself because I'm having an affair and I think I'm a nun and I'm a teacher and this thing. It's like weird stuff, right? It's because I'm a conflicted magical character. Now I'm Snow White. Now I'm Prince Charming. Now I'm like Grumpy, the loyal person. He's no longer. So that to me was such a dramatic shift of the arc of the story.
Yeah.
And kudos to our writers. Kudos to the writers. Obviously, all of our success in any of this industry is because there's badass writers on Star Trek, Seinfeld, Pirates, Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
And that's the tactics of storytelling that are so exciting, and then open up the character arc of Wonderland or of Oz or of the Frozen.
Very much so. Ariel, great question. Thank you. And what do we have next? From Nymph. Ooh, who's your favorite guest star to work with?
Victoria Smurfit.
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
she wasn't really a guest star.
She was more recurring, wasn't she?
There's so, I mean, but to say one and then you'd leave out Merrin or you'd leave out
I went down the villain route.
you know, there's so many.
Because then there's Karen, and then
Karen
there's
David,
Barbara Hershey.
Barbara Hershey.
Guest star. What about for me, Sebastian Stan, probably.
Oh, Sebastian Stan.
Yeah,
and Giancarlo Esposito.
Giancarlo Esposito, but he was more recurring.
Yeah.
So,
but there's just so many good.
I would feel like Jorge for me.
I say
Jorge Garcia
because I had some cool scenes with him.
It's been who you
watching him going, this guy's a really good actor, and I was like excited about that, you know, like I loved working with. I mean, we got to work with so many great actors, but like when there's a guest star that comes in, and he was, you know, and you don't really know. I didn't know his body of work. So I was really kind of like, wow, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And I thought he was super talented, and he did some stuff that was so off script. And I love that. And he wasn't afraid. Like he didn't stick to the script. I mean, he did with his dialogue and stuff like that, but like he would do some cool improvs, and it was fun to be on the other side of that, to play with him in that way.
The casting directors, I think, did an especially good job with Once Upon a Time in really finding the actor that was most suitable for the role. I think everybody, I'm not congratulating ourselves on being cast, but I really feel like when I looked at all the other actors on the show, I was like, there was nobody other than you to play that part. And that casting is, you know, it's part of the alchemy of whether a show kind of works or not. And casting directors really did a phenomenal job, I think, with everybody from top to bottom.
And alchemy is my favorite word for that as well.
Oh, do I get a toaster?
Oh, yes. It'll be included with your autograph box.
I want a mystery weekend for two.
The death just dropped. I think that was the cool thing, though, that you never, like, that's the magic of being on TV, though. It's like that you get so many each week is a new cast. Like, so you'll have someone that comes in for one episode. That's one of the hardest things in the business. I've had to do it a lot in my career where I just show up for one, you know, and you want to feel like you belong, and you want to get tapped into all this beautiful love energy that we have today of like the Dickhead Band and all that, you know, like, but like, it's probably the hardest part about TV is coming in for the one thing and finding your sense of place and being able to bring your work and feel like you belong and are welcomed by the group. And it's sort of always the challenge of the regular cast to bring and make sure that that guest star feels like they're part of the team, because it is a team sport. And that happened a lot on Once, where we would get brilliant performances out of people because we were including them in on the jokes. Yeah. And then the next thing you know, the camera loves them, the audience loves them, and they're on the road with us, or they do 5 episodes or whatever.
Yeah.
I love my Dave Anders, you know. I can't get enough of my Dave Anders, you know. So like, give me some more Dr. Frankenstein, you know.
Yeah, right on.
There's this one actor though, and I'm spacing on his name because he was literally like a day player. I think he had like two episodes. I'm sorry, 2 scenes in an episode or something. But he was like such an actor's actor, and I'm spacing on who it was. It was probably in season 6, I think. But I remember he was like, we were on Main Street, and he was kind of like tucked away, and then he came out, but he had so much going on, and I was like, that's a real actor. And he didn't have a lot of dialogue or whatever, and then I started following him on Instagram, so I can't try to remember his name, and I can't. But he was really good. He was so interesting.
That's the thing too, you know, in this
Steve something. I think his name's Steve. Anyway,
comes to mind. All good.
I'm sure one of the fans will find it.
Yeah. Nymph, that was a great question. And our next guest is an award-winning actor and game streamer whose credits include Hawthorne, Wilford, and Mad Men. Today he joins us as the instigator of several operations, including Operation Cobra, Operation Playing Mantis as the young Henry Mills. Please welcome back for the final question, Jared Gilmore.
I am so sorry, everyone. My alarm did not go off, and it was I'm so sorry.
It's all good, brother. It's all good.
I am so sorry, everyone. I truly am. I'm deeply sorry.
Don't worry,
No
buddy.
problem. We
Don't
have all the
I feel
questions written down.
absolutely
We'll
terrible.
go
We've been
Jared.
talking about you this whole time.
You just woke up. Do you know how jealous I am? I haven't slept since like the 90s. Oh, I'm so
I'm so sorry.
Jared,
I feel absolutely terrible.
Jared, we've been having such a blast here. Guess what, Jared? You're in a band, and I'll let one of them tell you what the name of the band is.
I see. I'm in a band now. Okay.
Wait, who's Paul?
Paul's our producer.
Paul is so funny what he just wrote in these comments.
Good morning,
Oh
Jared.
God, Paul, you're hilarious.
Thank you. I am so sorry, everyone.
It's all good. Oh, Jared, are you good though? Everything's good in your corner of the world?
Things are going okay. Things are going okay.
Your coffee?
Yeah. Well, yes.
All right. Well, it's very good. Well, someone want to tell Jared the name of the band?
We're the Dickheads.
The Dickheads. Lovely.
You're the last Dickheads. Show up.
Well, Jared, I'm glad you're here. We're ready to go out on our final question. We always make this a fun one. So let's see what producer Paul has lined up for us. From Noreen, does anyone have any fabulously cliche New Year's resolutions?
I'm going to stop bank robbing.
Oh, that's
bank robbing.
I'm going to knock that
so
on the
funny.
head. I just don't see the future in it.
You know, this is probably really on the nose here. I need to fix my sleeping schedule.
There you go. That's a good one for you. Or maybe get a really big alarm clock.
Yeah.
Like this big that just scares you out of bed.
I'm gonna genuinely try to grow a mustache.
Oh, that'd be lovely on you.
Yeah, no,
you'd be like a young Sean Connery.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna.
These are all good. These are all good suggestions for Noreen, who asked.
Like the number one cliche is when people have just been abusing themselves with alcohol, carbs, all the holiday stuff. Well, I was doing that because I was in England. It's like fish and chips for every meal. Let's have another pint. Oh, I didn't have 2 babies and then gain weight in a global pandemic. I'm fine. So I just live in pajamas now. # blessed. So my cliche, I'm going to be really massively cliche-y. And I just want to be a MILF, and I just want to be really hot in 2022. I want to bring sexy back.
Congratulations, Rebecca. You already are.
You already are.
You haven't seen me naked in a while, babe. Okay.
Tomorrow.
That's my cliche.
You're late. You're late. We needed that 20 minutes ago.
Say now, please.
Oh no, what did I miss?
Lee, you got one?
Well, I mean, cliche. I'm going to try and treat every day like it's New Year's Day.
Ooh.
You know,
what do you mean? You're going to be hungover every day of the year?
Maybe.
I'm just gonna drink.
No, but I mean, like whatever you resolve to do, like seriously though, like the fact is that like there's a lot of people that are tripping. Like for me, like I'm just gonna take. I like on the serious note, like I would never make a resolution because I would be like, you should be able to do that November 13th then, right? Like so, but my goal would be like to try and like just be awesome and care about others. Put other people first, be of service. I'm going to go cliche of like, be a good human. Everyone, have some compassion in your heart and for yourself, especially. And, but always try and bring your awesome. Like that would be my resolution for me. Like, it's going to be okay. I live in gratitude. And, and because of that, like this event, great to see everyone, to connect with the world. I'm going to try and just bring that every day to maybe it's just to my postman or maybe it's just to the other mom I'm cutting off, dropping my kid at school. But like, yeah, I'm flipping you off, but with gratitude,
When I need a ride to the airport, I'm calling you.
I'll do it. I will hire a car for you so fast.
You'll be living in traffic, not in
help
gratitude.
But hey, check it out. My resolution for traffic is, check this one, Sean. I am your traffic. You are my traffic. We're all each other's traffic. Like, so if we're all on the road together, when I see someone that's flipping out, like I gave up road rage in like about 20. I mean, after once started, because I started seeing, like, I was just about to flip the casting director I'm going to meet off. You know, we're both racing to the appointment.
Mine started. Was during
your traffic is my traffic.
I was like driving in Canada. I'm like, fucking go!
But Sean's the voice of Kit. He should know better when it comes to traffic stuff.
Yeah, he is.
Noreen, that was a great one to send us off on. And GalaxyCon viewers, this has been my time with the cast of Once Upon a Time, but it absolutely does not have to be yours. If you'd like to chat with our guests like I have today, or purchase a personalized autograph, please sign up at GalaxyCon.com. And while you're there, check out our schedule of upcoming events just like this one. Panelists, this has been an absolute delight. Once again, thank you all for joining us on the GalaxyCon virtual stage. Sean can't see us, but don't worry. This has been great. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Happy holidays.
I love you guys.
Great questions.
Later, guys.
Smiles are free. Spend them often.